It was a dream come true. It was. Kathy walked in and she had this smile on her face that was like, this is the best she's ever seen.
With its terrible history, the price was low. The Lutzes bought the sprawling 3-story home called High Hopes for $80,000. Did you know when you were looking at the house that there had been 6 murders there a year before?
We went home and we sat around as a family and talked about it for quite a while. And it was decided that that would be okay.
But the house's history did unsettle them enough to have a priest, Father Pecoraro, seen here with the Lutz's children, bless the house. Lutz says the priest swore that in one room he felt an unseen hand slap him and heard a loud voice warn him.
He heard the words "get out" very strongly. He became ill. He had flu-like symptoms. His hands bled openly for a while.
The priest reportedly has since died, but within days, Lutz says his family also began to notice strange things about their new home.
There were odors in the house that came and went. There were sounds. The front door would slam shut in the middle of the night.
Lutz says the house was inexplicably cold. He says he kept the fireplace burning night and day in a futile attempt to stay warm. The story of what happened to the Lutz family would later become a best-selling book and a blockbuster movie, The Amityville Horror. It dramatized the Lutz's story, the swarms of flies in the room where the priest claimed to have heard a voice, the front door flying off its hinges, and Lutz's constant chill, and lots of slime oozing everywhere. Lutz says while the movie is at points very exaggerated, all of it is based on reality. What about this slime that we saw so much of in the movie?
The Hollywood movie? The slime was not out of the walls either. It was like gelatin, like drops of gelatin on the carpet going from room to room. And you would get up in the morning and that would be there.
Lutz says every day brought new horrors, but that the last night in the house was the worst.
I'm laying in bed. I'm unable to get up. There's no pressure on me. There's no force holding me down. I'm unable to move. I can hear my children's beds overhead of me slamming up and down on the floor. And I can't get up to help them.
How long did that last?
All night.
And you couldn't move?
No.
That night, like so many others, Lutz says he awoke at 3:15 in the morning, the same time of the DeFeo murders. He says what he saw next was frightening.
Kathy levitated and went across the bed.
Levitate? You mean her body just lifted right off the bed?
Yes. That's the hardest thing for people to accept.
Lutz says he and his family had finally had enough. The next morning, 28 days after moving in, the Lutzes made a run for it. These photos seem to show their haste. Closets are still full. Food is in the refrigerator. The children's toys all left behind. If you and your family hadn't gotten out of the house, what do you think would have happened to you?
I really try not to think of what that might have become.
Clearly, you think it would have been something horrible.
Yes.
Lutz says when they left the house, things got better. But he began to wonder if whatever tormented his family inside the Amityville house had also driven Ronnie DeFeo Jr. to murder his family the year before.
We realized there was something so wrong there that it would be inhuman, it would be improper to just let him rot in jail and not try to help get him some kind of psychological help.
Lutz says he contacted DeFeo's attorney, William Weber, but at that point, Weber was primarily interested in writing a book.
There was various offerings from book companies to publish a book.
Weber called a press conference, and the Lutz's story soon became big news. Reporter Laura DiDio got in touch with George Lutz and offered to bring in those psychic investigators.
But look, you need to be put in touch with some credible people who can help you if this really happened, as you say it did.
So, who are you going to call? Lutz himself refused to set foot in the house, but with his permission, the psychic posse moved into the house for one night. The TV cameras captured no ghosts, but there is that one mysterious image in those time-lapse photos. The little boy on the left.
And there were no little boys in your group?
No. I mean, it looked like a ghost boy, okay? But you saw these two, eyes there. And that was sort of, oh, where'd that come from? That's a mystery.
A mystery caught on film. Or was it? A strange tale gets stranger still. A woman who says she's in touch with the dead comes to the house.
And the first thing she said, there's an Indian here.
Plus, the man who murdered his entire family reveals what really happened inside the house on Ocean Avenue that night.